When you first hear of a zombie outbreak, there's going to be no time to go and get supplies. So we're going to show you how to modify your car using stuff you can find around the house.
A sports car would be our usual choice on Mighty Car Mods because they're fast and great for morale, but they can't go off-road and they have limited storage. A school bus or truck can carry many survivors and they have huge storage capability, but they're slow, hard to manoeuvre at speed and they use a lot of fuel. Tanks are like a moving fortress and they're all-terrain, but they're also hard to come by, difficult to drive and have limited space. Four-wheel drives are fast, they handle well, have good storage and they're all-terrain. They use more fuel than a small car, but they're much safer and also easier to find in suburban areas.
Today we're going to be showing you how to zombie-proof your car. We're going to be working on a 1987 Nissan Pathfinder four-wheel drive.
Now some of the benefits of using a car like this is you've got good ride height, you've got simple mechanicals, a carby engine so you're not going to break down.
Now there's also heaps of space in the back which you're going to need for supplies and weapons, but the first thing we need to do is stealth the car up by blacking it out, and then we need to armour up the windows so the undead can't eat your brain.
So the car's been totally blacked out, now it's time to work on protection.
Because a zombie would be through this glass and gnawing on your flesh in seconds.
So when the zombies invade, it's probably safer to go mobile. We're not going to be needing this front door on our house anymore, so it's going on our car.
Let's do it. So there is nothing getting through there. Glass is getting removed from the back because you can't shoot through glass. Okay, so as much as you want to protect your car from the undead, you also need some access points where you can get your weapons out. Sometimes you're going to need to grab zombies, you might want their clothing, you might just want to kill them for the fun of it. We're going to be covering that in the entertainment section, but you do need some points in the car where you can get your weapons in and out. From here, they can't get in. Okay, so we fortified the car and there's protection over all the windows. Is there anything else we need to look into now?
Well, when you're escaping a city as such as Sydney, you've got 4 million people here. You're looking at probably 3/4 of those turning into zombies. So you're going to be surrounded by these zombies. You're going to have to push through them. We're going to have to reinforce the bumper so we can just smash our way through the hordes of the undead.
Now, when you say smash your way through, are we talking about kind of 80 k's an hour here, or is the idea to go slow?
You can go 80k, but you'll have body parts and limbs flying everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't want to go, you just kind of want to push through them. They're not going to get through this stuff in a hurry, so you can take your time.
Okay, so the trick now is to make sure the front of the car is fortified enough so we can plough through the undead.
We've fortified the outside of the car.
And now we're going to tell you about weapons. When you're on the run, there's certain things you need to take with you that you can find around the house. Now, a lot of people have spoken about taking sprays to spray zombies in the face. Is that any good?
No.
Okay, right. What about improvised kind of garden implements, spades, things like that?
Spades are good, axes are good. This thing, I'd say leave in the garden.
Okay, cool. All right. Standard hammer.
Classic claw hammer, great for hammering in nails, prying up locks and smashing in skulls.
Great, all right. Now we mentioned these earlier, of course, little axes.
Tomahawks, great fun. use the flat ends for woodwork, that stuff for brain work.
Awesome, love it. All right, now of course the classic, we've got the double barrel shotgun.
Double barrel shotgun, can't go wrong. As long as you got ammo, you're strong.
All right, now speaking of which, now with ammunition, sometimes that can be scarce. So reputably, probably the best weapon to take with you is a samurai sword, a real one. We're not talking about a replica here. This here can be used over and over and over again. You do not need ammunition. It doesn't get gluggy because you have the blood drains here. You can have this strapped to your back at all times. You can take out thousands of zombies with these. If you do go to a replica store and they have them, try bashing them against the ground a few times. If they break, it's probably not going to do you any good against the undead. Now, if you're going to take 2 weapons with you on the road, out of all these, what would you take?
Shotgun, sword.
So what is the best way of attacking zombies from a vehicle?
Well, it's always best to keep moving. So you need a driver, you need a gunner.
Right, okay, so when we're talking a gunner, are we talking riding shotgun in the passenger seat?
You can ride shotgun, there's nothing wrong with that, but for a full spectrum advantage, you want to pop the top.
When you say pop the top, you mean have someone sitting on the roof?
Cut a hatch, mate.
All right, we're gonna cut a hatch.
Now the advantages of a turret, of course, is look at the height. They can't even reach you. They're behind you here. Oh no, they're not. Boom! Over the left. No, no, no. Boom! What if they're to the rear? Oh well. Boom!
Obviously, communications are vital for your survival and anyone traveling with you. So can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure. When the zombie plague hits, all forms of communication we're used to, cell phones, internet, they're all going to be gone within a matter of days. CB radio, that's the way to go. Pick it up off a dead cop, get to a technology store, get some UHF stuff going.
Awesome, UHF it is. Now, the thing is, every now and then if you're traveling with someone, they can cover you from the turret in the car, and then you can use your comms to go and get supplies like fuel or food. You need to stay in contact, and it's also a good idea to have massive antennas on your car because you may be able to pick up signals from other survivors.
You know, everyone's turned into zombies.
We're now going to teach you some survival basics to keep you on the move and alive.
Now make sure you've got heaps of spares. Spare tyre, spare fuel, lots of tools to keep your car going, as well as a squeegee to clean the zombie guts off your windows. Sometimes Molotov cocktails go wrong, make sure you've got a fire extinguisher.
Now water is something that you need to survive, so when you find a fresh source of water, make sure you've got containers to fill up because you're going to need it. Always make sure you carry a ladder on top of your four-wheel drive. You can pull up next to a shop, go up through the hatch and break into a shop without setting foot on the ground. Now later on we're going to discuss quickly books that teach you how to distill urine, and also some books which teach you how to farm food from your own body.
Now zombies aren't the only way to die once they take over the world, so keep a well-stocked first aid kit going, bandages, needles for stitches, tourniquet, disinfectant, because if you go to hospital once the zombies are out there, you ain't coming out.
Exactly, and the other thing is you may find survivors that need your help, so make sure you're stocked up with food, water and medical supplies. If you want to survive the zombie apocalypse, then you need knowledge. Knowledge is power, and power means you get to keep your brain. These are some books that you must read. The first one is How to Build a Power Generator. This one was featured on the MacGyver show. He sold millions of copies, and therefore you can get second-hand copies easily. Combat Techniques Against the Undead. This was written by Sean Genders. He served in a lot of countries all over the world. If you want to learn how to fight, he's the guy to teach you. Check out a copy of that book. Now, Man-Zombie Relations by Ross Waldron. This is a novel, but it has a lot of information about surviving zombies, particularly if you fall in love with one. Obviously you're not, but it still makes a very entertaining read. Now, The Zombie Survival Guide. This is by Max Brooks. This is a very popular book. You can get copies of this in your local bookshop. Has a lot of useful information on how to survive a zombie invasion. Now, Urine to Water the Right Way. This was originally written as a guide to help you lose weight, believe it or not, but this is the complete unabridged version. Make sure you get the thick one, because this here teaches you how to distill urine and turn it into water that you can drink. Now, Decapitation for Dummies. This one was banned before before it came out, but you can get this on some zombie websites, and occasionally it comes up on eBay, but it's about $100. Decapitation for Dummies is a really good one if you're going to use a sword to try and survive the zombie invasion. Now this last one's pretty funny and it's hard to take seriously, but it can be very useful. This is Eat Shit and Survive. This is the revised edition. It has 12 new recipes. I know it sounds funny, but this teaches you how to create emergency food with your own anus. Yes, you can survive by eating your own crap. It's amazing. Now the last thing is to stay mentally sharp. The way you can do that is playing Call of Duty. Black Ops has got a zombie mode on it. The previous version, World at War, also had a zombie mode on it. This teaches you a variety of different weapons, how to kill zombies, and how to survive in a harsh terrain. It is definitely worth checking that out. Remember people, knowledge is power. Use your brain or lose your brain, literally. We hope that this presentation's helped educate you on how to stay alive when the zombie apocalypse happens. Now, during this presentation, we went through choosing the right vehicle and also how to armor it to keep you safe.
We've also gone over important things like weapons, communications, and equipment you're going to need when you're out there on the road.
We've also covered first aid, how to get food and water, and most importantly, how to educate yourself on how to stay alive from these brain-sucking beasts.
And when the zombie apocalypse comes, keep a cool, calm, collected head, and you'll keep your soul.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to save you is you.